Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in today's video, of course, I want to give you guys an update on what is happening with Bitcoin today. So right now, Bitcoin is still holding at $30,000. You guys can clearly see that, right? 30,600, just under 30,700. So you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin is in fact slightly for the past few hours, right? Has in fact been slightly going back up to 30,700 range, right? Because earlier this morning we actually saw Bitcoin around 30,100, right? So obviously we know for the past few days, okay, Bitcoin has in fact been consolidating at 30k. Okay, yes, we've seen Bitcoin a fair bit of times touch $31,000, but ever since then, right, once Bitcoin actually touches $31,000 or even slightly surpasses right 31k, we always go back down to $30,000, right? You guys can just clearly see that for the past few days right there. Okay, so I would say that right now this is obviously a support level for Bitcoin, $30,000. Okay, $31,000 is still pretty much a resistance line for Bitcoin because we actually haven't seen Bitcoin break above $32,000, right? We haven't even seen Bitcoin at all this year in 2023 reach $32,000. And I told you guys many times, right? Once we actually do in fact see Bitcoin touch, $32,000, which is all the way up here, the rally will in fact continue on from there on, right? That's what I believe in, okay, personally, right? So we're going to see Bitcoin reach 33k, 34k, and of course $35,000 right up to this line right here. So yeah, Bitcoin is still holding up very, very well. Okay, very strong at $30,000. And I really want you guys to keep your eye on Bitcoin because I really do believe in the next few days, right, even the next few weeks, we're gonna see Bitcoin have the next rally up, right? So the continuation of this rally that we have in fact been seeing, it will continue on to the upside, right? I've been telling you guys that many times. Now, yes, Bitcoin, we could potentially see Bitcoin have more corrections down to the downside. That's very, very possible, right? Back down to, I don't know, $29,000, $28,000, right? If we do in fact see Bitcoin have a correction back down to the downside, it's not going to be a massive crash. Please understand that, guys, right? It's not going to be a massive crash. Okay, it's just going to be a slight correction down to the downside, and then it's just going to bounce back up to 30k, and it'll continue on from there on. But the market today is still not really moving, okay, from where it was, yesterday, right? You guys can clearly see that overall the market's up 0.66%. So overall, it's still holding up pretty well, but for the past 24 hours, not much moves, right? You guys can see Bitcoin is in fact slightly bouncing back up right now, okay, surpassing 30,500. So it's up, 1%, and a fair few altcoins are in fact pumping. Check out Solana. Solana right now is pumping. Okay, it's pumping over 10%, 11% for the past few hours. You guys can clearly see that, right? And Solana right now is currently at $18. So Solana is pumping. I'm not sure why, but it's pumping, right? For the past 24 hours, you guys can see that 11.5% for Solana. So that's absolutely amazing to see for Sol. And a fair few altcoins, not much movements, right? Bitcoin Cash is sort of slowing down, but still, it's still, going up there. Right now, Bitcoin Cash is at 241, right? $241, and it's up, over 3% today. For the past week, it's up 85%, right? So that is absolutely amazing to see for Bitcoin Cash. And we know Bitcoin Cash has in fact been pumping. But yeah, other altcoins are not really moving, right? Not as much as Solana. I don't know why Solana is pumping. I literally just saw it just now, right? So that's that. But anyways, guys, I want to show you guys a fair few charts in today's video, like always. Okay, some new charts, right? And you guys can clearly see, starting off with this one, we are still inside this bar. Okay, we are still inside this bar, and it's pretty much in between $30,000 and $29,000. So 29k is a support level, and pretty much $30,000 or even $31,000 is a resistance line, right? And I told you guys, once we actually break above $31,000 and we see Bitcoin touch 32k, I think that's when the rally will in fact continue on from what it looks like, right? Because we actually haven't seen Bitcoin all of this year in 2023 reach $32,000 just yet. So once it does, I think it's just going to continue to rally up to the upside, right? Very, very soon. But Bitcoin is still, right, consolidating at 30K. So it's still inside this bar. It's still holding up very well in my opinion, right? It really, really is. Now, Bitcoin right now is forming, okay, a bullish symmetrical triangle. Okay, so a symmetrical triangle is, bullish, right? A bullish pattern, and we could potentially see Bitcoin, break above this symmetrical triangle, right? Because that's what it's supposed to do. So we could potentially, yes, we could potentially see Bitcoin, keep, consolidating at this level of $30,000, right? And it would just break out of it, right? Just like what it did a couple days ago, right? We know Bitcoin was in fact forming this downtrend. Okay, you guys can clearly see I still have it drew out, right? This downtrend, right? We know Bitcoin for the past few weeks was in fact forming this very, very, very slow downtrend, and then just recently it absolutely broke out of it, right? So right now, Bitcoin, right, is in fact forming this symmetrical triangle, a bullish symmetrical triangle, right? And usually we do in fact see, if we do in fact see this pattern, usually it does in fact have a pump, right? So we could potentially see another leg up for Bitcoin. Okay, another rally up to the upside for Bitcoin. So it's looking pretty good for Bitcoin. Bitcoin, in my opinion, guys, like it's still holding very strong, right, at $30,000, which is great, right? It still gives us a opportunity, some time to buy at this level. I told you guys this many times that Bitcoin is literally undervalued. Okay, it really, really is, right? And later on, I'm actually going to show you guys a chart. Is it in this video? Yes, it is. Okay, I'm actually going to show you guys this chart in the next tab right here. Okay, showing you guys that Bitcoin is actually undervalued. But let's start with this one first, right? So let's talk about this one. So right now we are in fact seeing a pause. Okay, that's what we like to call it, a pause, because Bitcoin is in fact pretty much consolidating. And we know, right, for the past few months, Bitcoin has in fact been consolidating. You know what I mean? So you guys can clearly see back in January when we saw Bitcoin have this strong bullish move, and then I had a pause right here, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. It's right here. Okay. We had a pause. Okay, it was in fact consolidating, and then it pumped up to the upside, and then it dropped again, and then it pumped, right? And then it dropped massively back down to like just below $20,000, and then it absolutely had another strong bullish move, and then I had a pause once again, right? Bitcoin was in fact pretty much consolidating, you know what I mean? Not much movements, and then it pumped all of a sudden, right? And then just recently we know Bitcoin was in fact forming this very slow downtrend, okay, all the way down to around 24. Actually, it wasn't 25.3. I remember seeing Bitcoin at like $24,800, okay, and then had a strong bullish move, which just happened a few days ago. We know that. And right now it's having a pause. So it seems like every single time, guys, we have this pause, Bitcoin always tends to break out of that. And it seems like to me that we will in fact see a increase, right? Another rally up to the upside. Okay, just like I mentioned many times. Okay, so yes, this resistance line is $31,000. Okay, so once we actually see Bitcoin, reach around $32,000, 33, like it's just gonna have another strong bullish move, like what it's been doing for the past few months, this year alone in 2023. So be excited for that, guys. So 38K seems like the next price target for Bitcoin, and that's gonna happen very, very soon. So it's still looking pretty good for Bitcoin, right? So keep your eye on Bitcoin, guys, right? Bitcoin will in fact have another rally up, most likely. Or it could have another correction, a small correction back down to 29K or 28K, and then it'll just have another strong bullish move to the upside. So keep your eye on Bitcoin. I'm telling you guys that right now, okay? Now, you guys should really keep your eye on Bitcoin, because this chart is indicating that Bitcoin is pretty much undervalued. Okay, we know Bitcoin is nowhere near its previous all-time highs. Okay, Bitcoin's all-time highs was in fact at like $69,000 back in 2021, of course, when we're in fact in a bull market, right? And then all of 2022, we know Bitcoin has in fact been dropping, right? Causing this falling wedge, massive falling wedge down to the downside. It was pretty much a, over 70% drop, 77% drop from its previous all-time highs to its lows, right? And then we know, 2023, Bitcoin is in fact slowly recovering. We have in fact been seeing, some teaser pumps. Bitcoin has in fact been teasing us with some pumps, and it's obviously creating a new pattern to the upside from its previous lows, and it's breaking out from, this falling wedge that we have in fact been seeing all of 2022. And you guys can clearly see, right? How do I know it's undervalued? Well, you guys can see in this chart, right? There's like this red line, there's this yellow line, there's this green line, there's a blue line, and like very navy blue line right here. So the bottom one, the navy blue line, the dark blue, I should say, color is heavy undervalued, right? And that's when Bitcoin was in fact at its bottom, right? When it was like $15,000, $16,000, $17,000, $18,000, pretty much when Bitcoin was below 20K, it was undervalued, like heavy undervalued, right? And right now it's currently in the light blue area, right? Which is indicating that it's undervalued. So it's still, right, I've been telling us many times, we're still in a buy area. Bitcoin is still undervalued. It's still cheap, okay? Bitcoin is nowhere near its previous all-time highs. Even though, yes, Bitcoin has in fact been pumping, but you guys have to understand, it's still undervalued because we are still in a bear market. Like, I wouldn't say we are in fact 100% in a bull market just yet, right? We all know that. So obviously right now, right, I would say this, that we are in fact, in the early stages of the next bull market. We're not 100% there yet. We're still in a bear market, right? But we are in fact in its early stages of the next bull market. But Bitcoin is undervalued. You know what I mean? It really is. It's nowhere near its previous all-time highs. We're still in, the buy zone, right? We all should be buying right now. We all should be investing. We all should be at least dollar cost averaging and stacking into Bitcoin. That's why, guys, right? If you guys have, in fact, been watching my videos, you guys would see me, right, buying into Bitcoin. I've been stacking into Bitcoin, right? And I still am. I am not stopping, right? I really am not. The only time I will, in fact, be stopping will most likely be in the year 2025, right? Because the year 2025, that's when Bitcoin's just going to continue to pump, right? And that's pretty much when, guys, I'm going to take my profits, pretty much, right? I'm not going to sell all my Bitcoins. I'm going to sell some of them, right? You always got to, take your profits, right? Along the way, because that's how you make money with Bitcoin and crypto, right? You're always got to, take your profits. You know what I mean? You want to sell high, buy low. Very simple, right? So that's that, guys. So Bitcoin right now is still undervalued, okay? So please understand we are still in the buy zone. It's never too late to buy Bitcoin. Even buying Bitcoin right now, $30,000, it's still great. It's still undervalued. Please understand this, guys. It's nowhere near its previous all-time highs. Now, shout out to Stock Money Lizards. Once again, you guys know I'm a huge fan of Stock Money Lizards, charts. And this chart, right, is indicating that the halving is in fact about to happen. We know that, right? Literally less than 1 year from now, the halving is about to happen for Bitcoin. Once that happens, we're going to see Bitcoin have a massive breakout, right? It's going to continue to pump up to the upside, reaching back up to its previous all-time highs and reaching a new all-time high. Every single time we have the halving, Bitcoin always tends to reach a new all-time high. In Bitcoin history, that has always happened, right? So it's no surprise that we will in fact see Bitcoin reach over $100,000 in the year 2024. I told you guys many times, towards the end of the year in 2024, I do in fact see a 100K Bitcoin, 100%. Right now, you guys can clearly see, right, like what I was talking about before, its previous all-time highs to its lows, it is in fact a 77% drop from its all-time highs to the bottom, right? So just think about that. Right here would have been a great time to really buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin was pretty much, below $20,000. But hey, like I said many times, we're still in the buy zone. So buying Bitcoin right now, $30,000 is still cheap. It's still undervalued. It's still a great time to buy Bitcoin, right? It really is. So the halving is about to happen. Be ready for all my Bitcoin holders out there that's watching this video because Bitcoin is about to pump. Okay, so keep your eye on Bitcoin. Trust me. And the dominance for Bitcoin is still over 50%. In fact, it's gone up even more, 50.4%. Right? I believe yesterday it was at like 50.2 or 50.3%. Right now it's at 50.4%. So the dominance for Bitcoin is rising, whereas Ethereum is still at 19%, right? It's still stuck at 19%. You know what I mean? So it's great to see that the dominance for Bitcoin is over 50%, right? So be ready, guys, because the halving is about to happen and we know what that means. We're going to see a massive bull run happen for Bitcoin. And that's when we'll officially be in the next bull market. Now, to end off this video, okay, I've been talking about this many times. There's the world and there's 21 million Bitcoins. I told you guys this many times. There's not enough Bitcoins to go around for everyone. We know Bitcoin obviously has a supply limit, right, of 21 million Bitcoins. And we know realistically we have less than that because a fair few millions of Bitcoins, right, have in fact been lost forever. Around 4 to 5 million Bitcoins. That's what people are in fact estimated to say, that around 4 to 5 million Bitcoins are in fact lost forever. So realistically, we have less than 21 million Bitcoins, which makes it even more scarce, right? 21 million is already scarce. Less than that will be even more scarce. Okay, and it's true, right? So just think about that, guys. Not everyone in the world can own one full Bitcoin. Okay, it's just not enough to go around. 8 billion people around the world, okay, over 8 billion people, and there's only 21 million Bitcoins, okay? Just think about that. There's not enough to go around for everyone. So if you're watching this video right now and you own one full Bitcoin or multiple Bitcoins, hold it and hodl at least one Bitcoin. Like, it's okay to take profits, okay, but at least hold one Bitcoin, guys, forever. Like, just store that one Bitcoin, store it somewhere safe, okay? Do not sell it, guys, okay? Just one Bitcoin, because I really do believe, in the next few decades, right, 2040, 2050, 2060, 2070, you name it, right, long term, I really do believe one Bitcoin is going to be worth millions of dollars per Bitcoin, right? So this one Bitcoin can literally change your life forever. Not financial advice, just my personal opinion, right? We know Bitcoin has store of value. And I really do believe one Bitcoin is going to be worth millions, not just 1 million, millions, guys, of dollars in the future. Okay, so be excited for that, because it's coming. You know what I mean? It's coming. So that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate that. Let's get to 3,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a blessed day, guys.